Good evening, America. Hello, Chicago. And what's up, West Side? This is P. Ray of Black Excellence Hour, a show for people with high self esteem. You could have been doing anything on this Sunday afternoon, and you came to hang out with me today at Black Excellence Hour. And as always, I truly appreciate the company. If you are watching live on the Facebook Live page on Black Excellence Hour, be sure to share the live. Today's show is pretty interesting. Today's show is titled The Fix is In. The Fix is in Chicago. The Fix is in Cook County with this Cook County State's Attorney's race. And we're going to get to all of that today because we had some really positive things happen during this election, some things that were very telling. So we're going to talk about that today. But first things first, we're going to do what we always do, which is start the show with a dose of self-esteem from the greatest president to ever do it. The Teflon Don, they keep on throwing at him, and he keeps on dodging and winning. That is Mr. Donald John Trump Sr., the 45th president, soon to be president number 47. Roll tape.
You built this nation. You know, you're just starting to get real credit for that. Okay, I don't know if you know that. You're just starting to get, you built the nation. We all built it, but you were such a massive part of it. Bigger than you were given credit for. Does that make sense? Right? But through generations of blood, sweat, and tears, and you deserve a government that defends your interests, protects your families, and cares for our own citizens first. My administration is fighting with everyone and all our heart to reverse the pain inflicted by Democrat leaders and to deliver hope and opportunity and prosperity for all Americans, but for African American communities all throughout our land. And our agenda is lifting up citizens of every background, race, religion, color, and creed. But while we are fighting every day to build up our nation, the far left only wants to wreck, ruin, and destroy our nation.
All right. Again, that was president number 45, soon to be number 47, because we are going to put him back in office. And by we, I mean Black Chicago. Chicago at large, Cook County, state of Illinois, the United States of America. I can't wait. So, first things first, let's talk about the election. P. Ray, yes, this P. Ray right here. I was on the ballot to be an alternate delegate for the 7th congressional district, which is Danny Davis's district, which covers the west side, a little bit of the south side going into Bronzeville, a little bit of Inglewood, and then the western suburbs. Friends, on the Republican ballot, P. Ray got 3,056 votes. Woo! That's a lot of votes. That's a lot of votes considering that my alderman ran for committee person for as a Democrat, and she only got like 3,600 votes, which means she got approximately 600 more votes than me as a politician who has been on the ballot in office for over 20 years. This is also very interesting because you know that in order to vote as a Republican, in order to vote for any Trump delegates, you have to pull a Republican ballot. And so when you pull the Republican ballot, you have to go up to declare, and then that officially registers you as a Republican. We also know that the 7th congressional district is a very blue district. Danny Davis runs it. He is a senior leader in the Congress. He's a senior leader in the Democratic Party. Out of the ballots that were pulled in that ward, a Republican candidate like myself got 3,064 votes. That is a big deal. Shout out to all those people who pull those Republican ballots. And for everybody else, you don't have to pull a Republican ballot, but get ready to vote for all the Republicans. Moving on. I also want to talk about the Bring Chicago Home ordinance. Shout out to everybody who crashed that ordinance. I told y'all it was not going to pass under no circumstances, neither here nor there, over here, under there, on a float, boat, or moat. We will never, ever, ever vote to tax ourselves to vote for housing for illegal immigrants, especially when CHA has been sitting on over 1 billion US dollars for the past 25, 30 years. I mean, this has like been a very, very long time. Maybe not 30 years, but almost 30 years. So we also know that the progressives in the city, they were very serious about making this happen, and they were all in our faces, and they were mailing us things, and they were telling us, what we should do and how we should vote, blah, 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 blah. A lot of people said that this was going to be an indictment against Brandon Johnson and his leadership, and it was going to let him know how we felt about him. And this is what he had to say about the good tax-paying people of Chicago who did not want their taxes raised to pay for illegal housing. Roll tape.
Also not lost on me. I think there were 38,000 Republicans that showed up and voted for Donald Trump or something like that in Chicago. So, since if we're trying to draw some conclusions and you all want some other, analytics you might want to discover, that might be something to look into, because I'll just say it, there's a good chance that played a part in this referendum. So the same people who want to see Donald Trump to become president, sometimes I do feel like he wants my job, but who wants to be president again, those are the same voters who voted for him, and the same voters where you look at where there were more no's, they were concentrated there. Also not
All
lost
right.
on me.
So Brandon Johnson stated that the people who voted for this were the people who want Donald Trump in office. Duh. Yes, I told you we were Black Chicago for Trump. I told you we were Chicago red. Nobody's ashamed of that. But what is also interesting, my friends, is that the Austin community must be MAGA country. Because if you check the maps from the Bring Chicago Home ordinance, or the Bring Chicago Home voters, you'll see that the 29th, 37th, and 29th wards both voted no to Bring Chicago Home. And these are Black people on the west side of Chicago who typically vote Democrat, but they said hell no to Bring Chicago Home. So once again, the Austin community is now MAGA country. Welcome to the team, y'all. I knew I wasn't going to be here by myself for a long time, because one thing about West Side people is we love to socialize and gather power. Welcome to the team. And we're going to add more people in the near future. For those who want to join the call queue, 773-345-9977, 773-345-9977. Moving on. Also, we have our mayor, who I'm going to start labeling these instances the Brandon bloodbath. Because, see, they tried to play with the word bloodbath for my Donnie, and it really wasn't for my Donnie. It's for these progressives and their failures. Now, we've been talking about on Black Excellence Hour for a while how the illegals in the shelters are coming to us with sicknesses because they've made this multi-country trek across North America into the city of Chicago. So you pick up a lot of germs on the way. We also know that little John Carlos passed away in the shelter over there in Pilsen. And when John Carlos passed away, Brandon Johnson got on TV and he said, "They're coming to us sick. They're coming to us sick." But then he also said that they were putting the children in the Chicago public schools. I spoke about the fact that little John Carlos passed away with multiple viruses in his little body, and that all of these bodies were communicable. Well, friends, we got a measles outbreak. There is currently a measles outbreak in the city of Chicago. They have found 17 people with measles thus far. They've also said that 11 of these 17 people are children under the age of 11, and no, under the age of 4, excuse me. Let's go back. 17 people have it. 11 of them are children under 4. I watched this Twitter video of a woman whose son caught measles. He's an American child. He is up to date with all of his shots, but he gets his second measles shot at 2 years old, and he's 18 months. And this baby is super duper, uber sick in the hospital. This virus has now jumped from Cook County into Lake County. They said that they can trace the Lake County virus back to this shelter in Pilsen. And they said that anybody who was at Kasum restaurant or Kasume restaurant from March 13th to March 19th, located at 569 West Illinois 22 Tesla Road in Lake Zurich, or the Advocate Condell Medical Center Emergency Department, located at 801 South Milwaukee Avenue in Libertyville, Illinois 60048, you have been exposed to measles. Anybody in that store or hospital room was exposed to measles. And again, my friends, it has jumped from Cook County to Lake County, which means that we are looking at a possible pandemic.
County, Illinois is reporting its
Oh,
first case of measles. Health officials are now working to identify and notify people who may have been exposed. And they say the Lake County case is related to the situation in Chicago, where at least 17, at last check, 17 cases are confirmed.
all right. So that was from ABC7. It just played. Shout out to all the media people. They're saying now they're trying to get in front of it. The Chicago Department of Public Health has stated that they have vaccinated 4,000 people in the shelters. However, in East Chicago, Indiana, they too are investigating a possible mass exposure of measles at a church. Lord have mercy. They said that this person is not an Indiana resident, but they traveled to East Chicago while they were infectious. And the health department there is encouraging anybody who may have been there to get vaccinated. Now, we would be a couple steps ahead of this if we were able to vote away the sanctuary city ordinance that is acting as a magnet to attract illegal immigration from all over the whole wide world. However, they didn't want that for us. Actually, Brandon stated last week that most municipalities have a limit as to how many illegals they're going to take. But because we're Chicago and we're so proud, he wants to let people know that there is no limit to Chicago. We're going to take as many as we can. He want them popping up out the sewer and coming out of your woodwork. That's what he said, y'all. He's not even trying to limit it. They said in Massachusetts, the entire state said that they were only going to take 7,500. Denver has a limit. Phoenix has a limit, but not the city of Chicago. Lord have mercy. Moving on. We also want to give a shout out to Lyft. Lyft is currently in the news because they have decided that they are going to withhold the wages of illegals who are working for their company. The reason that they said that they are going to withhold their wages is because they don't have a social security number, and Lyft conducts very legitimate business. So when they did the taxes for the company, they said that they found no match letters for many people, meaning that their tax ID numbers do not match the records in the federal system. Lord have mercy. But then you got these people who are trying to make it seem like Lyft is wrong for following U.S. federal laws. They're saying that it is nothing short of atrocious that Lyft is withholding their wages. This is a very vulnerable community, and these immigrants are coming here pursuing the American dream, doing honest work, and they deserve their honest pay. The lie was in line with somebody's social security number. They shouldn't get anything. Actually, they should call ICE. That's a federal crime. I don't understand why people are not going to jail, but shout out to Lyft for standing on the Constitution and saying that they are not going to pay them. Lyft said in response, Lyft takes these concerns very seriously and is committed to resolving them expeditiously. We are aware of drivers facing a payment issue due to submitting tax information to our third-party processor that does not match IRS records. So what are they going to do? Are they going to start paying them in cash so that they don't have to pay taxes? And if they do that, I declare that no other American should pay taxes with their Lyft on their Lyft wages either. I mean, it's only fair. It's only fair. It's only fair. It's only fair. Moving on. Did you all know that this week they declared that illegals can hold guns or own guns? Well, I'm about to tell you. This week in Illinois federal court, they declared that it is not illegal for illegals to carry guns. They're calling them illegal migrants. And they're saying that up to 11 million undocumented immigrants who we know are illegal, because if you don't have documents, you're definitely illegal in this country. They can now hold guns. They said that because they are here, those Second Amendment rights extend to them. However, when I went to go get my gun, I had to do my fingerprints. I had to submit all kind of stuff. And then Illinois State Police sent me a letter telling me that someone told them that I was a threat to the public and then I couldn't own a gun. So then I had to appeal and then got a gun. But these people, we don't know if they're rapists. We don't know if they're killers. We don't know if they're crazy people who got let out of the asylum. We don't know any of that. But what we do know is that now they can carry guns, which leads me to this point. If they could carry guns, then we want felons to be able to hold guns as well, because felons are actual American citizens. They actually do have a Second Amendment right. So I want someone somewhere to figure out how we can get this done. But Judge Sharon Johnson Coleman, who is a U.S. District Judge here in the city of Chicago, stated that illegals can hold guns. They can. What a shame. What a shame. They're also saying that Congress would have to be a little more powerful here, because there's no question that the Constitution applies to people who are not here illegally. So we just need Congress to come in and fix that, because if not, there is going to be someone holding a gun near you. I also want to let you know that because of the eviction policy, as I stated last week, there are going to be 2,000 illegal men on the streets of Chicago. They're going to evict everyone but families. So that means that the men are going to be evicted onto the street, and that number is 2,000. 2,000 people with no house, no money, no job, no car, no family, no resources, and they are coming for yours. That's 40 people award outside every day, making it happen. Go get yourself a gun. It is not a game. Please look up Miss LaShawn Pettis with Design to Teach. She is doing a free gun class in 2 weeks. Moving on once more. I also want to talk about the terror alert in France. And again, if you want to join the queue, please feel free to do so. 773-345-9977. Again, 773-345-9947. Moving on. So we have this new terror alert in France. We know that everybody around the world is dealing with illegal immigration. Yesterday, there was a humongous terrorist attack in Moscow. 4 gunmen went in there and like just blasted down like 400 or 500 people. It's like off the chain. I was watching it. I'm like, even this is too much for P-Ray's sensibilities. So I looked away. But now these terror cells are beginning to emerge again, because as we know, Jim Crow Joe is a war hawk and has gotten us back into it with everybody in the world. They're saying that the French government is raising its terror alert at its highest level after the shootings in Moscow. They're saying that because Paris is about to host the Olympic Games in a couple of months, they're saying in light of the Islamic State's claiming of responsibility for the Moscow attack and the threats weighing on our country, we have raised the terror alert. So if they're scared, we should be scared too, because remember, all of those people are coming in through our southern border. Let's take a call before we get to this election that they're trying to throw. I've never seen anything so crazy. Let's go to the phone line. Welcome to Black Excellence Hour. Can you hear me? Caller? Oh, here we go. All right, caller, welcome to Black Excellence Hour.
P-Ray, this is Dennis, and
Hey,
let's
Dennis.
go, Brandon.
Let's go, Brandon.
Isn't it amazing that this Obama judge over here applied that the Second Amendment for illegal, but then the Democrats then they want to pass this bill called HB 3239 to make it harder for us to renew our FOID card, renew our concealed carry, and now it's up to the state police if they want to give us a FOID card. So if that law or that bill they're going to try to pass apply to the citizen of Illinois, will it apply to the illegal that's not citizen of Illinois? So what we need to do is protest downtown in front of this judge. But then I have a question for this judge. What if the illegal come to your house and break in and use their gun? Because you gave them the right to bear arms. How would that work out?
This is wild because again, we have to go through all of these loops and changes and spend money and time and do all types of things as free American citizens. And now they're trying to give this away to illegals. And we have no information on them. We don't even know their real names.
We don't even know where they at right now. They could be anywhere in the city of Chicago with a gun. But then here's the thing. Even though if they buy a gun, they still got to fill out the 4473 form. Guess where they're going to? The FBI.
True.
So if you don't have no security number, how they going to be able to get a gun? Answer: illegally for the illegal immigrants.
Good point. Thank you, Dennis.
Thank you.
You're welcome. 773-345-9977. 773-345-9977. Let's get to this Harris Clayton issue because these people think that we are not smart. They don't take us to be logical beings, and I really don't understand what they're trying to do here. So I'm going to start from the most updated news, and then we're going to work our way back. This is coming from Marianne Ahern, and she posted this about an hour ago. She said the Cook County Board of Elections tonight says that it will count the remaining vote by mail votes on Monday. There are more than 1,000 county votes not yet counted. The bulk of their vote by mail ballots, 7,000, were added to the county totals on Thursday. Let's talk about this, y'all. Firstly, the Board of Elections has somehow miraculously figured out that they found 10,000 more ballots, just pulled them out the air. I don't understand what it's about or what that's really going on. So today we are going to work through this together. Let's go back. Let's take one step back before we talk about the states, before we talk about the Board of Elections. I want to talk about Kim Foxx really, really fast because I could do a whole show on this. I actually did a show on this last night with Martin G. Johnson. Shout out to the Crime Chaser. An 11-year-old boy was stabbed to death last week. His name is Jaden Perkins. Jaden was stabbed in the chest while protecting his mother, Lateria Smith, who's 33 weeks pregnant and is currently in critical condition in the hospital. The reason that this happened to Jalen is because his mother got a order of protection, a restraining order put on a man named Crosetti Brand. Crosetti was already in jail. And when Crosetti was getting ready to get out of jail, the state texted her and they told her, okay, Crosetti is about to get out of jail. We just want to give you a heads up. Well, Lateria goes to 555 West Harrison to get a restraining order. The judge told Shateria, you don't need a restraining order because he is already in jail. She said, okay, fine, rolled her eyes and walked out the building. Well, Crosetti went to jail in January. Then he got back out, and then he went to jail for bothering her in January, but they charged him with a probation violation. He goes to jail. The Illinois Prison Board reviews the information that they had. They said what he did really wasn't that bad. They put him on a house arrest ban and sent him back to Chicago. The first day he got out, he went back to Lateria's house, knocked on her door. She called the police. The police said, well, we can't do anything because he has not done anything yet. The next day, Lateria's boyfriend gets up, goes to work. She's leaving out of the house with her 11-year-old and her 5-year-old, 33 weeks pregnant. Crosetti pops out the corner, pushes her door in, and begins to violently stab her. Then her son tried to help her, and she violently stabbed him too. Well, friends, after all of this happened, there was this huge press conference with all of these elected officials and law enforcement people there. And Kim Foxx is standing there with her fabulous hair. And she says, she had a lifetime restraining order. I don't understand why she would go back to court and get another one because it was a lifetime order. And I said to myself, if this woman had a lifetime order, How in the world wasn't this man charged with violating an order of protection? Which means that the Cook County Board or the Cook County State's Attorney did not properly charge him. They charged him with violating probation instead of violating an order of protection, which allowed him to get back out of jail and go murder this woman. Some type of punishment needs to happen in the Cook County State's Attorney's office. We know that Kim Foxx is on her way out. We know that she's about to leave. We know that we're about to get some new people, which we're going to talk about in a moment. But this right here, right now, has to be resolved because Crosetti was only out because of failure in the Cook County State's Attorney's office. Nothing more, nothing less. That's the only reason he was out. They did not do their jobs. And then when they went back and they said that there was no such thing as a lifetime order of protection, Kim Foxx's office released a statement stating that within the lead system, their office reads it as if it doesn't have an expiration date, then that's an indefinite order, but maybe the police did not read it the same way. And that was their way of kind of trying to throw off accountability for themselves. But the police have nothing to do with how the state's attorney charges people. And if on her end she could see that there was no expiration date, then she knew that it was a lifetime order and that people in her office should have charged him accordingly, but they did not. And now Jalen is dead. His brother is traumatized and his mama is fighting for her life. Something has to be done. Something has to be done. Something has to be done. I don't know what has to be done, but this Cook County State's Attorney and the culture of letting people get out, the culture of victimizing villains, the culture of feeling sorry for the most pitiful people in our society has led to the death of baby Jalen. And you bogus Kim Foxx, you bogus, you bogus, you bogus Miss Luxurious. Something has to be done. I don't know what. I'm not the Grand Poobah. I don't know everything, but I'm telling you guys what you need to know is that Kim Foxx, the Cook County State's Attorney, did not properly charge Crosetti Brand, and that's how he was able to get out and hurt this woman and her child and her children, all three of them, her fetus, her 5-year-old, and her 11-year-old. May God bless these people. But again, I'm not going to stop talking about it, nor am I going to stop talking about the fact that Melissa Conyers Irvin still hasn't been charged by Illinois Attorney General Kwame Raoul. Kwame, the election is over. The IG has already said she must be charged with official misconduct. I don't know what's going on because you had time to go bother Tiffany Henyard in Dalton about her charity. You had time to investigate that. You had time to make a statement. You had time to do all of that, but no time for Melissa, and now is the time. Moving on. Back to what I was saying about the Board of Elections. So, as of today, 6 hours ago, and when I talk about the Board of Elections, I'm talking about the race between Clayton Harris and Eileen Burke. They're stating that this morning, the Board of Elections, with attorneys from both campaigns for a Democrat candidate for Cook County State's Attorney, and all parties agreed that ballot counting and ballot signature verification would continue today with poll watchers present for all steps of the process. On Sunday, March 24th, election judges will be processing and tabulating 13,000 vote-by-mail ballots, which have already been reviewed for timeliness, signature verification, and voter histories. The majority of this total are vote-by-mail ballots that were received via Dropbox on election day that have yet to be counted. Voters who return their vote-by-mail ballot via Dropbox on election day will receive an email confirming that their vote was counted or initially rejected. The statement from Max Beaver, the director of the public information for the Chicago Board of Elections, this, y'all, is the fix. Everybody pay attention to what I'm about to read to you, because, baby, they cheating right now. I made an error in reporting the number of vote-by-mail ballot received back on Monday, March 18th, before Election Day that should have been included in the received by Election Day numbers. Previously, I reported that 66,399 vote-by-mail ballots were received and scanned for signature verification by the end of Monday, March 18th. I initially reported that 7,009 vote-by-mail ballots were received back via the United States Postal Service on Election Day 3/19/24. This number was incorrect. I only reported the vote by mail ballots received back on election day only. Approximately 9,143 vote by mail additional ballots received back on Monday should have been included in this received by election day number that would have been processed and counted after election day, March 19th. These vote by mail ballots received back on March 19th through Tuesday, March 19th, were secured in a receiving cage at 69 West Washington until they could be run through the Angeles scanning machine for purposes including verifying that those voters had not cast ballots during early voting or election day and to prepare signature specimens for verification. These ballots were inspected, processed, and counted by election judges on March 22nd through Saturday, March 23rd, and are already reflected in the unofficial results on the chicagoelections.gov website. How you make a mistake and forget to count 10,000 ballots? This is America. See, when you watch international news, you can watch these like international elections and all the games they play and all the shenanigans they play. And you think to yourself, God bless America, because we're not dealing with that. But because we have literal socialists who follow third world governments leading our government here in Chicago, they are now engaging in third world tactics. Now, it's very important that to note that a guy named Max Beaver, who is over the communications, he's the director of public information for the Chicago Board of Elections. Some people did their research on him. And what they found was some of his old tweets. He said, I'll say it very bluntly. If you have a problem with the phrase defund the police and use it as an excuse of semantics to capitulate or to look away, I think it says more about you personally than it does your opinions on PR and optics. Hashtag defund the police. So we see that this man is a real-time socialist. He also says that he's participated in multiple defund the police campaigns. He also said that he is a advocate for the socialists, for the progressives, and the again, very, very anti-police. So because we know that he's very anti-police and we know that he's a socialist and we know that he's really on their side, we have absolutely no way of verifying that he won't put his finger on the scale for the socialist candidate. Y'all, this is cheating in real life, in real time, and we're watching it with our eyes and we're not saying anything. This is ridiculous. 773-354-9977. Again, 773-345-9977. This right now, we knew that going from voting day that Miss Burke was in the lead. She was beating him by a lot, actually. And now their difference is only about like 5,000 votes or so. This is very, very strange. We know that the people, this socialist group, these people are not Chicagoans. I had an opportunity to go to a CPS community meeting last week at Michelle Clark High School. Remember, guys, Michelle Clark is one of the major high schools in Maca Country, aka the Austin community. And as one of our largest high schools, it has a 0% reading proficiency and a 0% math proficiency. The teachers in CTU went to Michelle Clark and marched those children out of their classrooms to line them up single file and send them in there to vote for Bring Chicago Home, and they still lost. But that's not my point. My point is, I go to Michelle Clark, and I was there in this community meeting talking about the schools. And so while we were there, I was talking to a lot of the officials. Y'all know I'm doing my thing. And we saw that a lot of these people were not real Chicagoans. So these are not Chicago. This is, they're coming with their own mentality and their own thoughts about what we should do and how we should fix ourselves rather than us trying to fix ourselves. So we got all of these outsiders that do not understand that we are Chicago public school graduates. And we went to CPS when they were actually teaching and feeding the kids very well. So we were taught reading, writing, math, critical thinking and logic. And we definitely know when a scam is being ran on us. And right now, there is a huge scam being ran on the people of Cook County and the city of Chicago through this whole voting debacle. If this comes out and they do it and they find out that we are, for instance, let's say they say on Tuesday we counted all the ballots and we see that the ballots went to Harris. At that point, a lot of people are going to stop trusting our election process. And that's exactly what they do when in third world countries. That's exactly what they do. They corrupt the elections, and then they make dishearten the people and make them not want to vote for the elections, and then people don't participate, and then they can get in the candidates that they want. Remember, CTU has been going down to Venezuela for years now, almost a decade. And this is supposedly a failed state. This is supposedly a dictatorship. This is supposed to be like a socialist hellhole. But yet, CTU has gone down there multiple times, and now they're bringing back those tactics to us. People are saying that I am breaking up and they cannot hear me. Oh no. If you cannot hear me, please go to IntellectualRadio.com and we are streaming live there. I apologize for this because we are the sound just went out. Everybody's texting me, no sound, no sound. Oh no. Can you all hear me better now? If not, we'll continue on with the show and we'll get the show from Intellectual Radio uploaded to the Black Excellence Hours website. Some people are saying that they don't like your comments and that's why they dropped the show. Oh, yeah, because I don't know why the comments went out. I'm so sorry, you all, but we will get that back going. In the meantime, in between time, 773-345-9977. 773-345-9977. Join the call queue because this is, like I said, something very, very strange. People are going crazy in the comments now. They're saying, oh my God, the sound is out. Please go to the YouTube page. I believe that this might be Facebook censoring us. We know that we got a lot of haters, I am here telling all of the business. I figured it out. I keep telling y'all, I was well educated in the Chicago public schools. I know how to catch a scam. And I think that the people who are upset that the scam is being caught have now gotten my Facebook show shut down. So we'll figure that out next week. We will stream on Twitter. However, as I was saying, we are in the middle of them taking our rights. Because what they're doing is that they're lying to us and they're telling us that it's the Republicans who want to take our voting rights and make us not be able to vote. They want to disenfranchise us. They want to put us back in chains. They want to blah, 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 blah. But we see here in Cook County, the only people who are doing that stuff are Democrats. Straight up Democrats. Anybody who's ever done you wrong in government in Cook County has been a Democrat. We have a Democrat mayor, a Democrat Cook County board president, a Democrat water reclamation president, a Democrat leader of the state house. We had a former Democrat president of the Senate. We've had all of these Black people in charge, but yet and still, we still got all this chaos. And again, that's because these people care more about socialists than they do us. Let's take a call. Welcome to Black Excellence Hour. Hello?
Hi.
Hey. Welcome.
Oh, hi. Am I live? This is Marjorie P. Ray. How are you?
Good. How you doing?
Good. I was calling because I couldn't hear and we were putting comments, but it didn't seem like you could hear. You kept talking. So I'm like, well, let me call and maybe I will have better success. So I could hear you when I call, but on Facebook, I can't hear you.
It's like we're being censored on Facebook right now. So Tawana Berry is actually posting a YouTube link. And this will probably be the last time we stream to Facebook. Next week, we're going to Elon's World on Twitter, and he'll be able to help us a little better because I don't understand why Facebook has taken my sound.
Okay, no problem. Well, I enjoy your show. I'm glad you were able to get on this platform, and I just will listen to for next week. I mean, but I'll try to listen as much as I can
Oh, yes,
tonight.
ma'am.
So
Go to
or listen to the
YouTube.
replay.
If you go to YouTube and go to
Okay.
Intellectual Radio, we're streaming there. But if you go back to the Facebook comments, they actually drop the link to the YouTube show there. So you can just click it and catch me.
Oh, good. Good. All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Marjorie. Thank you for calling to let me know too.
Okay, no problem.
773-345-9977, 773-345-9977. Facebook, once again, is hating on the kid. Everywhere P. Ray goes, all I want to do, y'all, is save the Austin community where I stay. And then once I do the Austin community, then that's the greater West Side, then that's the city of Chicago, then it's the county of Cook, then it's the state of Illinois, then it's the United States of America. I don't bother people. I don't go and I don't lie on people. I don't start no mess. But yet and still, Elon Musk loves to keep a fight going with people. I mean, not Elon. No, Elon's pretty decent. I mean, Mark Zuckerberg loves to keep a fight going with this girl, P. Ray. I'm just one lady from the west side of Chicago. So as the show draws to an end, because we got 4 minutes left, I want to leave us with a couple of marching items. Number one, I want everybody to go to chicagored.com. I mean, it's not .com, that's somebody else's site. chicagored.org. Go to chicagored.org. Leave your information there at chicagored.org if you want to keep up with everything that we're doing. This is the official launch point of everything that we're doing from now on. Everything that we're doing is completely under Chicago Red. The goal of the organization is to educate, register, and drive our people to the polls, because we cannot allow this progressive liberal failure to drive our city into the ground more than it's already driven. We must fight back against these people, because if we do not, I promise you, they're going to have something worse for us than we have right now. And it can't get any worse than this. I mean, come on now. We also want to make sure that the people understand that Chicago Red is a serious business. This is serious business. This is a serious matter. Go to the website. We have a newsletter coming out. We have events. We got merch. We got to do the work of the work. We have to do the business of the business in order to keep our business flowing. Because at the end of the day, this is for us. This is for our children. We got to fight just like our ancestors before us fought. We watch all these people pop out during Black History Month and go to their meetings and stand up and do all of those things, just like Beyonce had on her new album cover with her holding the American flag. This is our country. This is our land. And we must understand that if we don't fight for it, y'all, they're going to take it from us. And they want to take it from us. They send people from all around the world to come and eat out of what the Negro has. And if the Negro does not fight for it, they're going to keep it from us. They're going to make sure over and over again that they are able to not just eat off of us, but feast off of us. And this is why it's very important that we get Donald Trump back in office. It's also very important that we, regardless of who wins the Democratic primary for state's attorney, we want to make sure that the people understand that we are very serious about the fact that they are trying to steal from us and they're trying to hurt us, and we don't want them to do that anymore. So we got to move on and meet new people. We have to. It is no longer a game. It is no longer something that people can just say that, oh my God, orange man evil or orange man bad. We don't want that anymore. These people are going to keep on lying. Also, because I'm coming down to the end of the show, I want the people to also know that every Thursday at 5834 West Augusta, we are meeting and rocking forward with Chicago Red. We have all types of people coming to meet with us. It's not just Black people, because I know people are like, we're coming to Austin. Is it, will I be safe there? You will be safe. You will be calm. We are moving forward. We're doing the business of the business, how the business needs to be handled. And I just want y'all to come and see us Thursday. We're there every Thursday. So if you can't make it this Thursday, please come next Thursday. But we need everybody to start attending the Chicago Red events so that you can see and understand what's going on. I'm so frustrated right now that these people hated on my Facebook stream and got my audio snatched. But that's what losers do. And they're losing, y'all. They are losing so hard, and that's why they are so mad. And guess what? We don't care. We don't let them be mad. Let them be so mad that their little brains go kaboosh and they fall out to the ground. Because Brandon Johnson was big mad. He was over mad. Did y'all see it? He said, "Oh, the Republicans crashed it." Yes, we did. Yes, we did. And we about to crash this convention too. But we are at the end of the show. And that means that it is now time to go. And I'm P. Ray of Black Excellence Hour, a show for people with high self-esteem. I want everybody to meet me this Thursday at 5834 West Augusta. We're going to be celebrating the win. 3,064 votes came out of the 7th Congressional District for me. So I thank y'all for voting for me. I thank y'all for trusting me on this mission. I thank y'all for walking. I thank y'all for standing up. I thank y'all for standing on the birthright of the United States of America that our ancestors gave to us with their hard work, blood, and tears. Remember, Black folks, we are as American as sweet potato pie. I love y'all. I love y'all. God bless America. Let's go, Brandon. And do not be scared, y'all, because we winning. Mwah. Ciao. See y'all later.